Hi everyone, welcome back. I can't believe it's February. January feels like it both simultaneously took a million years and also went by very quickly. So I decided that I'm gonna do kind of like my favorite plants of the month. I think this will be a good way for me just to check what I'm really digging and for me to highlight some cool plants that I'm really enjoying. So these are in no particular order, but yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first plant I want to talk about is my Hoya Crimson Princess. So I really like this plant. Originally, I was a much bigger fan of the Crimson Queen, the one where the variegation is on the outside, but this month I'm really digging this one. So the plant for a really long time didn't do all that much for me, and then all of a sudden it's now simultaneously trying to grow 7 leaves at once. So if you can see right here, these 2 leaves, so the pink is obviously the new growth. This is probably going to be an all green leaf, that's why it's so dark. So it started with these 2, and then see these 2 leaves up here were next. And then it started just pushing out maybe like last week, these 2 leaves on this branch right here. I hope you can see that. And then just yesterday I noticed that there's going to be a new leaf at the end of this branch. That's definitely going to be a new leaf right there. So that's 7 new leaves being pushed out all at once, which is crazy. So yeah, I really like this one. It's pretty easy to take care of. I water when dry, and I do that based on looking at the leaves at the base and kind of giving them kind of like this situation, see if there's like a resistance or not. If it's really flexible and kind of thin feeling, then it needs a water. And then obviously by that time the soil should be pretty much dry all the way through. So that's definitely one of my favorites for this month. And then another favorite for this month, so this is actually a plant that's really new to me. I just unboxed it a couple videos ago, and so I don't really know much about how this plant grows, but this is the Trevally Moonlight. I just love the foliage on this so much. That silver color. Ooh. So yeah, since I just got it, I don't know too much about how it grows, but I'm gonna assume that the care for this will be very similar to all the other Scindapsus. I have both the Scindapsus pictus as well as the Scindapsus exotica, and both of those I just wait till the soil is almost all the way dry before I water, and I haven't really seen like that much fuss with them. If I wait a little bit too long, the leaves will curl under. But usually if I give it a good watering after that, it totally perks back up and looks totally fine. But yeah, I love this so much. I got this off of a Facebook buy sell trade group. There will be a video about that coming soon. But yeah, good. Okay, third plant. Third plant I think will have to be my Variegated string of hearts. I used to like not really be into this plant. I was like, it's overrated. I don't know why people like it so much. Now that I'm growing it, I really like it. So it's starting to trail if I kind of like undid all of these. There we go. It's starting to trail, which is so cool, and I feel like this all throughout winter kept pushing out new growth. I think the cooler the temperature, the more pink it gets in terms of like the new growth coming out. Because I'm growing this indoors, it doesn't really get all that cold. The temperature in here never really goes below 60, but in the summer I might put it outside. I feel like a lot of people have a lot of good luck with that, and then the temperatures at night get just a little bit chillier, so it might come out a little bit pinker, but won't, you know, harm the plant because it's not a cold hardy plant. But yeah, it has been exploding with new growth. I have a couple other ones that are currently in my greenhouse. I don't keep this one in the greenhouse, but I do keep the other ones in the greenhouse, and there's just so much new growth. I think the humidity factor definitely does speed it up a little bit, but I don't think it's necessary, evident by how fast these are growing. I think the key is just a lot of light. All of my variegated string of hearts get direct light. I wouldn't give it necessarily like, you know, like 12 hours of direct light, but some direct light I think is totally fine, and I would just work up to it, like maybe a couple hours at first, and then you work up to a little bit more. But yeah, a lot of light. These really like that. Okay, cool. That's my third favorite. Two more. Let's do this one first. This is a Julephos. Excuse the lack of pot. This got repotted yesterday. I did a huge repotting session, lots of plants, and this was one of the plants that I repotted from its nursery pot into some better soil. So I don't have a pot for it yet. I just love this plant so much. Like some of these leaves, oof. Unfortunately, this had a little bit of a pest incident. I'm gonna be quite honest that I'm really terrible about isolating my plants. I'll isolate my plants for a few days when I first get it, give it a good neem oil spray down, and if there are no obvious signs of pests, I'll usually, you know, put it with the rest of my plants. They don't usually get isolated for like weeks and weeks because I just don't really have the space for that. So this got put next to my neon pothos, and I think this might have had this must have had spider mites on it, because I found evidence of spider mite on both my neon pothos, which I was sitting next to, and on this. So it got treated for that. So it's been so it got a neem oil spray down for about 2.5 weeks, and about like twice a week. And then now it's pushing out some new growth, so I'm really excited about that because we did lose quite a few leaves in my battle with spider mites. So far it seems like the care for this one is pretty much like any other pothos. Wait till dry, not direct sunlight, but a lot of bright and direct light. Seems pretty happy so far. It's pushing out new growth. So yeah, that's definitely the fourth favorite plant. And then last, but certainly not least, is my Tetris Perma. I love this plant. So this is the newest leaf, and very excitingly, this is the only leaf so far that's not damaged. So when it first came, it had this one, and this one, and a fourth leaf that died because it got snapped in shipping. And then for a really long time, it did like absolutely nothing for maybe like a month and a half. Like absolutely no sign of growth. And I despise this plant because everyone was like, it grows so fast, I love it so much. And I'm like, mine is doing absolutely nothing. It's just sitting there. And it looked real sad. So finally, after a month, it pushed out this leaf, and it pushed it out really quickly. There is some damage on there, on this top part right here, and then a little bit of like a brown tip, but it was new growth. And then right after this leaf unfurled, that was when it kind of like got its groove and started growing really quickly. And then it pushed out this one pretty much like right after it was done unfurling. With this one, it pushed out this one. As you can see, this one is missing half of its leaf because I must have slightly overwatered it. at this point I really only water this maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks, but I must have still overwatered it. So half of this leaf was like rotting away. If you want to see photos, it's on my Instagram. There's a highlight called our Tetris Perma, and I document that and what that looked like. But so I decided to repot it into some terracotta, and I feel like it's pretty happy. This is the newest leaf. I feel like it came out so much smaller than, you know, like the leaves before. So maybe, I don't know what's happening there. Maybe it wants a little bit more light, so we'll see what happens. I definitely don't want to, you know, water it more because I'm scared that it's gonna get overwatered again with, you know, this. So yeah, but I really like it. This is currently living inside my greenhouse. I do think it really likes it. I don't think the humidity is a must, but I do think it helps. And then my my greenhouse, the humidity level in there is usually around like 90. Sometimes higher, sometimes a little bit lower. And then every 1 or 2 days I'll just open the greenhouse and let it air out. Sometimes I'll point a fan in there. If you saw my setting up my greenhouse video, I showed this mini fan. I don't use that anymore. It didn't really work. I don't think it was powerful enough, and it kept dying. So I take like a legit like house fan, and I'll just let it blow for maybe like an hour or two, just to prevent any like mold and stuff. But yeah, I just love the leaf shape of this plant in particular. I just got a new cutting of it in a mystery box. I'll link the video if you haven't seen it. And I'm trying to root it right now. I'm kind of having a little bit of a difficulty rooting it, and I don't know if I'm just like impatient, but yeah, I really like this, and I'm glad it's becoming more accessible. Hopefully I'll see one, you know, in a garden center sooner or later, and maybe I'll be able to pick up one that's not so damaged. But yeah, okay, cool. Those are all of my favorites for this month. Let me know what your favorites for January are down below, what you are really enjoying growing. Maybe I'll add some of those to my wish list. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye!